Welcome back to the John and Linetia Show.
So how are you feeling today, John? Are you better?
Feeling fine, Linetia. Just took an Advil, rubbed some Neosporin on it, and took a long nap.
Okay, great.
That's all it took,
Great.
It's all it takes for everything. A little Neosporin and an Advil.
And an Advil.
You're all good.
Okay.
Yeah, just saying. So, one thing we haven't touched upon since it happened was that issue in the NFL about the bounties.
Oh, yes.
Finally got at least partially resolved. They haven't done anything to any of the players yet.
Right.
But it was a pretty severe penalty. The head coach of the New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton, suspended for 1 year. The defensive coordinator was involved. Greg Williams, he's suspended indefinitely, and it's at least going to be a year. But whether or not he's coming back to football is a good question, I think.
Right. Right. Did you expect this to be so severe?
Probably not. But then again, the last time the NFL had players basically suspended for a year really wasn't until back in the 60s. And it was Paul Hornung and Alex Karras, player on the Packers, player on the Lions. I think it was Paul Hornung. But anyway, they basically got involved with some gamblers, and the worst thing you could do if you're in professional sports is get involved with any kind of gambling or gamblers, because there's always the possibility someone might look at that and say, "Oh, so you're saying that this sporting event is fixed." So that wasn't the case in this case, but I think really the reason why the suspensions were so severe is because the NFL really had heard about this a couple of years ago and pretty much told the Saints and told Sean Payton, "Hey, we hear this is happening. We want you to stop it." And they said, "Okay." And apparently they didn't. And then when they investigated again, they all pretty much lied and said that it wasn't happening and they didn't know anything. It's a pretty severe.
Guess they're not so saintly.
Can you imagine, though? I mean, Sean Payton makes $7.5 million a year. Now, let's just forget the fact that it's $7.5 million, and it's like, well, I'm sure last year he made like $7 million, and maybe he saved some of that. Just let's put that aside.
Okay.
What if you were told pretty much now, "Hey, you're being suspended from work for a year." Okay.
Right.
Based on what anybody makes, you kind of look at that and go, "Oh crap! How am I going to survive?" Now granted, $7.5 million, he'd be an idiot if he didn't have any money in the bank that he could survive off of. And it's not to say that he can't do anything. He could do. I think they're talking about maybe he might become an analyst for Fox Sports. But it's pretty brutal.
That is brutal. And I'm pretty sure, just like anyone else, you're used to living at a certain level.
Right.
But, I just don't feel sorry for them.
No.
I don't.
No.
I mean, you're really thinking about someone else's careers here.
Yeah.
Contracts involved, and people are getting hurt on purpose.
And even I was reading a lot of the beat writers for the New Orleans Saints pretty much saying, yeah, well, they got what they deserved. And I think part of that is that Peyton, may be kind of a jerk to the beat writers, the press, and not to say that he's not a nice guy, but, we see it here in Chicago, too. You get these coaches that, even now, like the beat writers are kind of battering Lovey Smith. And, Lovey is still, I think that's the funny thing is in a lot of cases, they ask him really, pointed and stupid questions in a lot of cases. And it's like they want him to explode. They want him, it's like they're poking him.
Right.
And he's pretty much as Lovey
right.
Smith. It's like he's perpetually on.
Yes. He's just on the same wavelegth the whole time. He doesn't really change. unless he's a different way with his team when he's, like in the locker room with them or something, and he maybe
it's like he's on Valium all the time. So.
Nice. Well, nope, but I guess the Saints aren't going to be the darling team. So.
No, well, I wouldn't expect that they're going to win it all this coming year.
So, are they going to push someone up to be the coach there, or?
Well, they're looking at it now, and the problem is kind of the way that the assistant coaches are. There's not an obvious choice, so they're kind of evaluating everything.
And then a year, that could be 2 seasons in a sense.
Well, no, it's basically going to be one season. Yeah.
Okay.
One NFL year, which I guess the NFL years begin April 1st or something like that.
April 1st. But they play the games in August, right? They start pre-games.
Yeah, start in August. Yeah.
Oh, well, good luck to you. Should have done it. So, did you see that wonderful story about the crazy guy on JetBlue?
Alec Baldwin is taking JetBlue now?
No, not that crazy guy.
Oh, okay.
No.
Kevin Smith? I heard that he's got to take cargo planes now because he is just so huge.
No, not that guy.
Which is a ride with UPS.
Well, at least he's a director.
Yeah, there's not much of one.
Yeah. John.
I'm sorry, he sucks.
Be nice.
What?
Be nice. Anyway.
Tyler Perry's got to be better than Kevin Smith.
Hey, don't start. Don't start with me today. Well, this dude, I mean, he's the pilot over here at JetBlue, and he literally just went crazy on a flight one day. It was a flight that was heading toward Vegas. Yeah, it was Vegas. And he, you think there was something to that?
He was expecting that the passengers would not, whatever happens on a flight to Vegas stays
in Vegas.
On a flight to Vegas.
Yeah, but this dude, he runs out and he's yelling, Iran, Iraq, they're going to take us down, yada, 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 And he was actually charged today with interfering with, the crew. But the point that I want to make about this is, one, do you think that this will affect anyone who wants to fly JetBlue?
See, now, I look at JetBlue as the airline that took over the ValueJet Airlines.
Right.
If you recall, it was shortly after ValueJet, somebody flew a plane directly into the Florida Everglades, and just the name ValueJet is sort of like, I'm gonna fly, I'm gonna take Jiffy Fly,
Yes.
or Wiffle Ball Airlines.
Yes.
Honestly, I mean, JetBlue is not a plane, not an airline that we have to deal with out of Chicago at least, that we have to.
Yes.
I mean, it's a lot of places. It's the low cost carrier on the East Coast.
Yes. But not here.
So, I mean, to me, I don't know that the JetBlue name had much of a cachet to it.
Okay.
Before, but I don't know. I don't know necessarily. It wouldn't be like the conduct of a crazy pilot that gets taken down. If they're going to talk about JetBlue just ordered 7,000 cases of duct tape, and then you see that their planes are all duct taped together. Then I might not really want to fly them.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
What about you?
They're not my preferred airline.
No.
I did fly with them once.
Yeah.
I did like the leather seats that they had, and I liked the TV. But
so you're more of a Virgin Atlantic, right? You're Virgin Airlines.
No. Thanks, though. No. Southwest.
Okay.
Southwest for low flights, but for a really comfy ride, hey, American.
Yeah, I think you're crazy. American and United, I'm not comfortable at all.
Well, who else do you fly with besides Southwest?
That's pretty much it. There's not much of a Continental got absorbed by United and Americans there. I mean, if I can help it, I'll fly Southwest. Otherwise, I'll bite the bullet and fly American. But I don't think it's all that comfortable.
Okay. Well, to each his own. Then my other thing I wondered about this was that, it's not that I wondered, but as you can see, people are not taking this mess anymore. You know, of people trying to take over a plane.
Yeah, well.
You know, it's just not happening anymore. I mean, I guess he didn't think he was going to be taken down, but he was actually taken down. There were people there on the flight who used to be, work for county jails and stuff.
Sounds like he had some kind of a psychotic episode, so I don't know that he was thinking about anything. He could have, for all we know, he could have had low blood sugar, could have been diabetic and low blood sugar.
That's true. Could have been anything.
Could have been anything.
That's true. But I also sometimes wonder, do our pilots get enough sleep? That's a question.
It's a good question. Yeah.
I don't know. It's still kind of sad, but I don't know. We'll be right back after these words from Zombies.
Zombie want brains? Brains. Give zombie brains.
You're listening to the John and Linetia Show.